Hello, welcome to my studio. Today's Tuesday tip is all about art. Let's get right in it.
Hi. Just getting my calendar. Professional. I have a little bit of an apology to give to you all because my last art tip, I was telling you how to utilize your reference photos and didn't even give you a tip on how to get your reference photos. Let me show you how to do that. There are several ways to get reference photos for your artwork, whether you are painting, sketching, mixed media. There are some ways to get free photos. Now, there are some ways that you can get reference photos that are a little bit more unique than searching online. You can actually create your own sets. That takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time, and that is awesome and definitely an avenue you can take. You don't have to be as elaborate as that either. You can simply see a beautiful field and think, I'd really like to paint that, but I don't have any plein air art supplies and I don't feel like I have the time to paint this right now. Go take a picture of it and save it for later. I have actually approached people about using either their likeness or even their property as a place for a reference. So, for example, I approached this one lady and asked if I could take a photograph of her because she looked exactly like the person in my head I wanted to paint. They turned me down, and so you have to learn how to also be told no. If you're going to take that approach, I would strongly suggest having a quick blurb already in your back pocket that you can pull out and be like, hey, and just a short, quick little thing that is concise so that they know exactly why you want to take their picture. Especially if you're a stranger, you want to make sure that you're not trying to make someone feel uncomfortable. So mine, for example, I went up to her and I said, hey, sorry to bother you. You look exactly like a woman I am trying to paint in my head. I've not been able to find a reference photo. Would you be okay with me taking your photo so that I can use your likeness for this painting? And they were really shy and honestly uncomfortable, and they were like, no. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Sorry to bother you. It's okay. You have a nice day. And then that was the end of it. It's okay. And learn to take that with a little bit of grace because don't expect everyone to just say yes to you. I did get permission to go to someone's property and sketch and paint out there as much as I like. I have yet to do that, but I have that yes in my pocket. I'm going to pull it out later, and I'm going to go do it eventually. That'll be one of my plein air paintings. Either way, I could go out and take a photo if I wanted to. Or you could specifically go somewhere, whether you like the architecture of a building or out in nature, you can go take the photos yourself and then you have a reference photo to use. But if maybe it's not as convenient to leave your house, or there's just something that you want to paint or draw that would be nearly impossible to recreate as a set yourself, or impossible to even travel. Example, I live in Kansas, so if I wanted to draw a realistic pyramid, I don't have a pyramid anywhere close to me that I can go study and have a field study done of to see exactly how everything fits and works for me to be able to even take pictures, use those references and that knowledge of doing the field study to then compile a piece of artwork. I wouldn't really be able to readily do that. Whereas if we go online and find really specific reference images, then we can do that. You can go so far as to even watching videos of certain landscapes, because the more you understand about the object that you are drawing and painting, the more you're going to be able to draw it. Just like in my writing tips, you are going to write about a character you know the most about. So even if it's completely made up, if you get to know them, you're going to be able to write about them. I digress. The more you know about a subject, the better you are going to be able to paint, draw it, and put it together. So, I have a few websites to show you. First one I'm going to show you is upsplash.com. Simply typed up a mountain landscape here, and you can see that it gives me a whole bunch of stock photos. What you also notice is these stock photos are not watermarked. What is really nice about that is that you're not having to fight a watermark stamp on the image to be able to get your reference. And also change the type of orientation that you have for your painting. So if your painting is more vertical, then you're going to want to look up portraits more than you would a landscape, and vice versa. If you were going to be doing more of a horizontal piece of artwork, then you would want to look up images that were more landscape, because if you're using a reference photo and you are going to try to grid it out so that you can make it as copied as possible, then you're going to want to find a reference photo that is going to match the size of your canvas. That's just going to make it easier, unless you know how to crop your image in a way that makes it transferable to your canvas, which can be a later tip if you're interested in that. Upsplash is very straightforward. Now, to get the image from here, you can simply click on it and you can choose to download it for free. And let me show you how that works. So you can choose to download it small, medium, or large, or the original size. And these numbers here are just going to show you the pixel by pixel format of that image. Let's say we're going to download it small. And you get to pick where you want your photo to be saved to. So I am just going to have it saved to my desktop. And on my laptop specifically, there is an arrow here where it shows me my downloads, and then I can simply click on it and it has popped. From here, you have the option to print it out, or because the computer provides a light itself, you can put a tracing paper on this and trace out the major points that you're really wanting to focus on. So our next one is pixels. I went ahead and typed up a prompt for a reference up here. Young girl, headdress on, which is actually a reference photo I am trying to find for an artwork that I'm wanting to do, and I'm almost there. I haven't quite gotten all of the reference photos I need, but you scroll through here and you get lots of different types of headdresses, different type of compositions, lighting, different type of headdresses themselves. If you wanted to be more specific, of course, you can be more specific in your typing up here. Now, another one is free pick. Again, I did the same thing where I put young girl with headdress and gave a little bit different results. So you can see, depending on the website, you're going to get some different stuff. Now, if you see here, there is a crown. I believe you have to pay for some more high quality reference photos. Let's see here. If you click on this, then you need to get a premium, it looks like, to be able to download this picture. But I wonder, yeah, so that's not going to allow you to do a simple click and drag onto your desktop to be able to get that image. But it looks like with the premium, you do get to have few options for really customizing this reference photo as much as you would need to. Now, some honorable mentions that I think are worth stating. but I do want to preface with, I have not personally used these ones. I have seen other artists use them, and I have heard about them. I personally have not, but that does not mean that I don't recommend them. I just feel like it's fair to let you know about your different options. I just wanted you to know that these three, the Upsplash, the Pexels, and the Free Pick, I have personally used. Now, these other ones that I can show you here, I have not, but I think that they would be really interesting to try out, and I plan on it in the future. Now, this one is filmgrab.com, and this is where you can look up images from movies. Now, I don't know the scope of how many movie pictures they have, and if they do frame by frame, but it's worth checking out. Another honorable mention would be sketchfab.com. Now, this one allows you to have a 3D model. Like, you see how I'm able to move this? You put in your prompt, it looks up a model for you, and then you're able to move it. You know how I said earlier, the more you know about an object, the better understanding you have to be able to draw it or paint it. Just like if I were to do a field study of going and looking at something in particular and really seeing the texture of it and getting up and close and personal to it. This is not getting up and close and personal and seeing texture necessarily, but you are able to move it, analyze, and look as much as you can to see from whatever angle you want of whatever prompt that you put in there. Another one is our referenceangle.com. Now, I will state that I notice on my computer it has a warning on the side that it is not a secure website. Just keep that in mind. So what you're going to do here is you can pick from different emotions and age, gender, and some little things down here to pick from as well, and then you hit search and it'll give you, I looked up sad, age range 17 to 52, and at first I put smiling because I thought it might be interesting to see a sad smile, but it didn't have any options for me, so I took off the smiling, and that is why that is yellow, but it has an X there because I've removed it, and this is what I got. And there's more pages to go through to see different sad expressions. Granted, that is not a 17 to 52 year old. Sketch daily. Now, here is another way that you can be really specific about what you're wanting to look up. So you can look up a body part, but keep in mind it's not every body part. Hands, feet, head, gender, male, female, and there's not too many filters, but you still get several options to pick from. And then you do your start and it'll pop up with an image. Oh, well, that's something. It's timed, so you can set how long you want the timer to be. And I don't know why that would be necessary unless you were doing an exercise with yourself where you had 30-second or minute-long sketches where you practiced sketching something out and gave yourself a short amount of time to be able to do that. That really focuses on what's important to sketch out in your drawing. What lines are you looking for? Whenever I was in art college, that was actually something that we did. We had timed, and I think we actually had 10 seconds. So in 10 seconds, we needed to draw the most important lines, and then from there, we get to build onto it. So it'll cycle through automatically when the timer goes out, or you can pause it so that you can keep looking at that reference photo in particular, or you can hit the next button and you will see more options to pick from. Now, I will say that this one in particular, you don't really get to pick what pops up. It is an image from the prompts that you gave it here. And it's not a grid of different photos for you to pick from. It is giving you the image, and then you just have to deal with whatever it shows you. Well, keep in mind, not all of the photos on this are appropriate. So a quick recap, you can make up a set and photograph a reference photo for yourself. You can ask people to photograph their property or themselves. You can go out in nature, you can go in public, take photos of whatever you want, and then have the reference photo yourself because it is an image that you took. Or you can go online. Hey, if you like this video, then like the video. It really helps out my channel. And if you like hearing writing and art tips, then please consider subscribing to this channel. I upload every Tuesday and I alternate between my writing and art tips. And if that is something that you're interested, don't forget to hit that notification icon so that you do not miss an episode. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I look so professional with all of my mess behind me, don't I? Let me... Does this make it any better? Do I seem more believable? Do I look like I stay busy so my advice seems credible? I don't know. But today, as my shirt suggests, no. Let me get you. This is a flattering angle, isn't it? Yay. I'm still recording. I kind of forgot.